Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. So I'm so excited because today we're going to do another Create With Me, which is one of my favorite kinds of videos to film. So you might have seen that last week I was live with Olympus and 3 other amazing photographers, Natalie, Nicole, and Emily. Now I would love to try Nicole's snowflake photography, but I'm now in spring, so it probably won't happen until next winter. I would also love to try some astrophotography inspired by Natalie, and so I'm hoping maybe this summer I can get out to the lake and do some astrophotography. But today we're gonna actually play with Emilie's refraction photography, which should be interesting because I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't tested this concept before filming this video, so I don't even know if what I'm trying to do is gonna work out for me. So we're gonna find out together. But yeah, we're gonna play around with refraction photography inspired by Emilie. So let's do it. All right, so I'm gonna start you off with the concept of today's shoot because then I think the supplies and the setup is gonna make sense. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to refract an image off of my laptop onto some water that I sprayed onto a sheet of glass. So hopefully with the concept out of the way, the rest of the supplies should hopefully make more sense. So I've got my laptop in front of me where I'm going to put my images up on. I also have a towel so I can lay it over my keyboard and protect my keyboard from getting wet. I've got a little spray bottle with some water in it. I also have a sheet of glass, and this glass is literally just from a picture frame that I had around the house. And then as for camera gear, I have my EM1 Mark II, and then I've got the 12 to 40 millimeter, but I'm also maybe going to experiment with the 7 to 14 to see what kind of images that creates. I'm also going to be doing this handheld, but I have my tripod just next to me in case holding the camera and holding the glass at the same time becomes a little tricky. All right, so it's time to get shooting. So I'm gonna put the coffee away, and then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna actually pull up the images on my laptop. So I've just kind of gone through and selected some images. So I'm gonna put my towel down to protect my laptop from getting wet. I kind of cleaned my glass a little bit already, just with some Windex. Let's see. It's not really doing like a water droplet. That's the only problem. It's not creating droplets, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, so it's so far not turning out how I want it to. So the problem is when I spray it, it's not actually creating droplets. So how do I get it to create droplets and stay? That is the question that I'm trying to figure out. Okay, bye. Alright, so I was literally just about to give up because I was spraying my glass with my water, but what was happening is it wasn't actually like creating these droplets on my glass. It was kind of just like coating the glass with water. So I tried a couple of times, and I'll put up some of the images of before as I was trying to create these droplets, and it was not happening. So I was literally just about to give up. I put down everything and I sat on the couch just in defeat because I didn't know how I was supposed to create these droplets. And I even tried spraying it on my patio window to see, like, is it the spray? Is it my glass? Like, what is it that it won't create these large droplets? So I was sitting on the couch just trying to figure out like how to make this work, and I did come across an article talking about droplet refraction, and they had suggested using saran wrap on your glass to create the droplets. So guess what? I put some saran wrap on my picture frame glass and it has created large droplets. So I've just been like spraying water onto the saran wrap that's in front of the glass, and it's actually created droplets and it's actually staying in place. So if you're gonna try this at home, try using a piece of glass, put some saran wrap on it. I tried to cut it down so I wouldn't have all of this extra, but it's a little difficult. Try doing that because honestly it works. So I've been playing around with it. So what I have is I've got one of my images on the screen. I'll adjust the camera here. All right, so I've adjusted the camera angle so you can kind of see, but we've got our droplets. I'm just gonna spray some water, a little bit more water onto it. All right, so it's gonna start dripping. I mean, it's probably not the greatest that I'm using my phone as a little backrest for this. So then okay, and now I'm just going to manually focus on the droplets. It's actually refracting. This is so cool. Alright, so after quite a bit of playing around, I'm gonna put up on the screen how some of the photos turned out. So a couple things that I did want to kind of recap regarding this Create With Me. So like when I started this Create With Me, I was originally just going to use a sheet of glass and then spray the glass with some water to create the droplets, but it wasn't creating droplets. It literally, so I'll just show you right now. If I just spray the glass right now, like that's all it does. And like it's gonna be hard to see, but it doesn't actually like create any form of droplet on the glass, and no matter how many times I spray it, it doesn't create a nice sort of form of water droplet. But if I put some saran wrap on, so this isn't going to look very pretty because it's going to be all torn up, but if I spray the saran wrap, if I put saran wrap on the glass and then I spray it, the saran wrap, it actually creates, if you can see, better bubbles. So definitely if you're gonna try this and you're gonna try doing specifically like water droplet glass refraction using like a photo in the background or whatever, try putting saran wrap on the glass because it definitely helped me. And be careful if you're going to be playing around with glass because I just cut myself. The other thing when it comes to this whole refraction photography is I saw in a couple videos, if you have like a bigger sheet of glass, you can try putting the glass down on a piece of table with like some props underneath it and then have your photo underneath so you're shooting down. For this one, I don't have like a big enough sheet of glass to do that with. I only have this 4x6 piece of glass, so I just kind of held it up to my computer screen and I shot it that way, but you can definitely try the other way. And then I did play around a little bit with how big my image was on my computer screen. I found certain images did a better job of like refracting onto the water droplets than other images, and I find my favorite one was the Davison Orchard ones, probably because of the colors in that one, as well just the structure that I was photographing. I find it refracted better. So play around with like what exactly you're refracting. I think if you have like a specific subject to refract onto the water droplet, it works out a lot better. So the whole refraction photography was definitely interesting to play around with today. It was a little frustrating at the beginning because I couldn't get the water droplets to form, but once I got the water droplets to form, it was quite fun to see them refract, the images refracting onto the water droplet. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video and that you go try some refraction photography at home. If you are gonna work with glass, I do ask that you please be careful because I did cut myself, so just be careful if you're working with glass. As well, if you haven't already, go check out Emilie's Instagram account because she produces some amazing stuff and she's a great photographer. Before you go, I just want to also announce one last thing, and it's a project that I've been working on for a couple of months now, and that is my monthly newsletter. So I've been working to release a monthly newsletter on the 1st of every single month, and so starting May 1st I will be releasing that. And And the purpose of the monthly newsletter is to provide value to you, and it's grounded in sort of the joy and love of photography, playing, experimenting, having fun with photography, and being creative. And so you'll find things like featured Create With Me articles, Lightroom edit tutorials, book reviews, monthly favorites, any sort of behind the scenes and analysis of any experiments that I've been doing with any of my photography and my account, and other stuff like that. So if you're interested at all in receiving a monthly newsletter from me, I'll leave a link in the description below to where you can go sign up for that. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, today. If you like this video, please hit that like button below and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.